Thank you people and welcome to our channel. This is Phonyland, and today we are going to highlight on the Virtual DJ 8.4 interface, a release that was done in 2020, but we are going to highlight it because it's almost similar to all the versions in the 8 series. So there is 8.0, 8.1, 2, 3, 4, and right now as we speak there is 8.5. so kindly, if you like the content that we are giving you, please give it a sub. We'll appreciate your support so that you may enable us to give you more content in time to come. So we'll jump right into it. When you are in your desktop, if you have installed your application, you go to the search bar and you search for Virtual DJ. It will appear there, then launch it. Once you launch it, initially, if it has never been used, this is the kind of interface that you will find. And then yes, you'll find the starter interface, which is minimalistic and has very few things that can help you do a kind of professional mixing. So I would advise you to switch to the Pro kind of layout. Yeah, this one will give you almost everything, and it will help you access many things over the interface without the need to go to the configuration side of the Virtual DJ. We're going to look at the sections of the interface. We have the status bar right here on top. We have the waveform window here. This is the space, this screen here. It will show you the waveform. That is the track that you're playing in a graphical kind of way. And here, down here, we have the deck area. We have deck A and deck B. We can also have several decks, more than 2. We can have 4. Some versions, I think version 8 can allow up to 6. The multitasking kind of mixing will be confusing to most of us who are not professionals, so I will advise against that. So always make sure that you have the Pro mode, but you're in the 2 decks, not the 4 decks mode. As you can see, the 4 decks mode is like this. This is confusing and highly complicated if you've never used Virtual DJ with multiple decks, more than 2 decks. So I'd advise you to use the 2 decks. From there, we are going to see down here, this is the browser section where you can access your local content or the online content. These are tracks that the local tracks are saved in your PC, and also the online music is where you can get it from the pool of the database at Virtual DJ. And also there is an offline cache that is being loaded. When you load a song, it will be in the offline cache, and various things, even filters like compatible songs. Virtual DJ helps you analyze and see which songs can fit into which songs. Alright, but this one, the reason why people are DJs is because they don't need to use this. You need to be a selector. A selector is someone who understands the music content. You listen to a music and you imagine what next, what other kind of music could fit into that. So today I am going to show you basically the interface, not the mixing, but in the subsequent videos we're going to make sure that we introduce you to the mixing and the contents of Virtual DJ configuration right here on top here. We'll do this independently because it is an extensive topic and we can't cover it in one video. So we had to do only the graphical interface and make sure that you understand everything. Alright, this is the browse section. Whatever you browse appears right here. This is the list of the contents in that folder, and here is the side list where you can select the kind of songs that you want to play. For instance, you can clear that list and continue copying the kind of music that you want to be playing the next. That is what I'm calling the selector kind of a brain. You feel the music. If it's reggae, you play reggae on this side. If it's hip hop, if it's country, if it's electro house, all those you can play them through the virtual DJ. But when you are selecting the next songs, because they might be in different folders, you make sure you put them somewhere in one place that you may access them easily, and you may sort them and mix them in a kind of professional way. We're going to start right away and look at the status bar. This shows you the user, the layout, the sandbox. This is the beat counter, the master and CPU monitors. There is the time and date and the events scheduler here, and the configuration or settings button. There is also the normal Windows PC exit and restore, maximize buttons, and the minimize button. Alright, down here we have the waveform. The waveform, the kind of waveform that you need can be accessed from here. I'm going to quickly load a song, a random song, which you might be familiar with. This is a random song, and so let's see another song. This is a 7 song. This is a 7-beat. It's a drum loop of 7s. So as you can see, the two songs have been preloaded. There is the red one and the blue one. This helps you understand which song is playing, which one is not, when you look at the waveform area. When you need to change the look of the waveform, sometimes you might need to separate them. You might use the mirrored one. You might decide that one is not interesting, the full spectrum. You'll get both songs independently. I don't like using this. Some of the DJs do. So initially from version 2.0, we were getting kind of a waveform, and that's what I'm used to. We're going to play a simple song like this, and this is a beat. I don't know whether you can hear it if I play. Oh, that's cool. You can try to speed it up to give it the kind of African impression. Alright, what I basically did is that I played the song that I had loaded onto this deck, and this one has now been played. As you can see, it's in a standstill position, and that is basically the waveform. So let's look at the deck area. Deck area will give you the song's information, including the key, including the speed here, beats per minute, including whatever you have selected here. Auto match key, these blue boxes, they indicate something. Auto sync, this one here, auto pitch, and this one here, auto match BPM. So when they are all four, you know that you've matched all those things, and the time that has elapsed playing that song, and the time that is remaining on that track. So this one is basically the information, and down here we have the effects. Here, this is the box for the effects, where we can have the presets. This one, you can select the preset effects, or you can include your own user effects, which can be added to this. There is a slider. There are 4 buttons that are free. You can load any kind of effect that you want right there. So we start right with the effects part. As you can see, When you click it, it will give you some kind of different layouts. You might decide to do a scroll down, but I don't like this because it doesn't give me what I want. So I'll usually like to select 3 presets to be on standby. When I need them, I just click, and once I click, the effect is applied onto the track that is playing on this deck. The same way, if you look at this other deck, is the same. So when we go through this one, we won't need to go through this other one here. It's the same kind of setup. Only the section that will change is the middle section, but it is also more like asymmetrical, so we can always just check on it. So I load the effects maybe that I want. For instance, this is one of the most common effects. When you're playing a song, when you click it, I want you to listen to it and then listen to the effect that is added on. As you can see, this slider is down here. This slider is down here, and when it's down here, it's playing only the songs from this side. It continues to increase its strength. It's increasing its strength as we move from this side to the other side. So kindly listen. Jehovah is your name. Jehovah is your name. Mighty one. As you've heard, there is an effect that is being added onto that track, and it's even being played right here, and you can even notice the effects that have been that have affected the video. And that is one way to add effects to a song, which is the most common way, and I like having 3 presets ready, and I set them here to fit to my song, because sometimes they don't apply the way you want them to, so you always have to tweak them and make sure that they do. So for instance, like this, you might call it flanger, franya, flagger, whatever kind of name that you want, but as long as you know how to write it, get it. So you use this plus button, it will give you some kind of extra settings on that kind of effect. So for instance, this is the strength of that effect on that track. If you want it to be 100%, if you want it to be at some kind of percentage, 50%, whatever, the speed, how long will that effect go on and loop itself? 32 bit, it will loop for 32 bits. You might decide to put it like at 8 is very common. You might decide to lock it to that bit, the speed of that bit, which is very useful. And you might also decide to increase the feedback of that effect, and or maybe do a high pass. High pass will look at some kind of section of that track, that's where the effect is applied, the other part will be ignored. So as you can see, the options that are here are much more than the one that is here. The one that is here is only for the strength, but here you are going to get more effects. When you don't need it, you close like that, or you can close it from here. Alright, that's how you add an effect. Let's try to play that song and apply that effect with whatever settings that you have put now. As you've heard, it's like that effect has been mastered in a way that at least it's not affecting the words that are being sung in that song. So we are trying to give it a professional touch without affecting the musicality, and giving it some kind of an appealing listening experience. Yeah. From there we have the user section. I told you this one you can add, you can just click or right click any button that is blank. it will give you some kind of warning. You say okay. You select the icon that you the action that you want to be loaded onto that button or onto that slider if you have selected the slider. For instance, I want to have auto mix dual decks, so it will be when I press that one, it will auto mix towards the other deck. We are going to do that to see how it fares. Okay, once you're done, you close. There is no OK button, you could just close. Now it's loaded. So when you are playing and press that auto mix, you're going to see the effect apply, and it's going to mix itself without my input. Once it's loaded here, as you can see, you can just right click it and go back here. If you want to remove it, you just delete the action that is loaded there. It will be gone. Down here we have the path section. The path section will give you some options that will be applying effects onto the track that is playing, and this one now affects the track that is playing right away. It doesn't apply effects on top, but it affects the track directly. So the path section, when you click it, it will give you 4 slots where you can select different kind of effects or paths that you want to have working on that track. So for instance, I want to use a scratch. I can change this one. When I right click it, I can change it to any other kind of path that I like, but I like the scratch, I like the slicer, I like hot cues, I like loop roll. So I just choose the ones that I like. You can keep on trying different ones. So when you have like one, yeah, this is a scratch. Alright, from here I like using the scratch. When you look at the scratch, we have the list of presets that have been put here. You can edit them, but I'd advise against this. So I always use the presets, and basically I use the normal scratching. I scratch it myself, and I make sure that I scratch it at the correct time. That needs a lot of timing, so that you give it the scratch that feels like it's a turntable that is doing it. So down here I'm going to play this song, then I'm going to scratch it. I just simply click on any of these. We're going to play this track right away. As you have seen, there is an effect that is applied, and it also affects the song. You have seen the video. It doesn't affect the flow of the song. It keeps it on playing on at the correct timing, which is interesting. And if you use these ones very well, it will sound like a professional kind of mix or scratching. Onto the loop area will provide you with the list of maybe the number of beats that you want to loop. To loop is to go over and over. So it will, maybe you want to loop half a beat. The beats are displayed with these dots. So if it's half a beat, I think this one is overstretched. Yes, I use this slider here to change. So if it's half a beat, you can see it's taking only half a beat from where the song is paused at. So if I play this one, it will keep on repeating that part. These effects might not seem interesting while I'm doing them, but sometimes we do them to end a song. You end a song, you reduce the volume, it will be like ba 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 ba. You slow it down, it will be interesting, and it will give you that touch of a professional DJ. Sometimes you can also use it to have an effect on that song, and it even gives you a better kind of a professional feeling of audio experience that has never been done on that song probably before. So it's always good to try these things. They are here because people have requested them. They are here because they have done research and seen that this kind of setup can be interesting. So for instance, if we use that too, just listen to that. There is an effect that we like using. When you load another song, for instance, on this track, you might eject. You can eject that song, and you can load another song. When you load another song, make sure you prefix it. These ones will do it while mixing, but right now I'm just trying to make you understand the use of maybe something like this. This is a loop, the loop roll. So I'm going to show you how it's done manually. There is a normal loop roll, there is this one. It helps you, and it is even has shortcuts which we can use to make that beat kind of appealing. I'm going to play it and try to apply that effect so that you may definitely get the impression that I'm trying to give you. Let's get right into it. As you've heard, there is that kind of, I'm reducing the beat loop over and over and over and over and over until it kind of sounds that this thing is going to get this thing is going to die, and all of a sudden release it, it continues to play on. So that's how we do this kind of loop roll. Sometimes it's very good to mix as another song. When another one is playing, you do the loop roll. When you're putting in another one is coming in from the other side, when you're using you're using the crossfader, slowly you come and then you apply this effect using the shortcuts. It's very interesting. It gives you a professional kind of feeling, and you feel like, yes, this kind of DJ knows what he's doing. This button here is a very useful button. It has a lot of things. So every time that you have maybe you want to I told you that the four of these are right here. These four bars around here, they are included here. So if you switch off any, for instance, if we switch the pitch lock, which is also here physically, if we switch this one off, you'll see the padlock, this one disappear, and observe what happens here. And also this one is off now. So when you select something from here, it will appear right here, and that is a way of selecting your things, your tools, the ones that you like using. If you need a cleaner kind of interface, you remove them all. If you never use them, remove them. This is the eject button. You unload the song that you are playing. The deck remains empty. There is the vinyl. The vinyl allows you to scratch, and when you scratch from here, you are going to hear some sound effect. That is a scratch. That is the manual from the jog wheel, and I'll show you another scratch from up here. I don't think it's audible because this is just the waveform. In versions below 8.0, I think it was audible. You could scratch from here, and it was weird. So at least for this one, they made sure that it's only on the jog wheel and the scratch area right here. So there is also the slip. The slip allows you to scratch that song or that beat or that track, and at the same time make sure that the song continues playing in the background the same way it would have played if it were not interrupted. So that is a very useful tool, and I can show you how it's used. Just look at this. let me not use this side because I've not told you about it. Let me use the jog wheel. Yeah, that's it. So this one will help you scratch, but the song, the beat will continue to play as if nothing happened, as if you just interrupted and it continued playing without skipping parts or going back or holding the position. If you have this off, it will hold the position and it will be very weird unless you have a very good timing. Just listen to this one. That one I only use it when I'm playing something like the first beat. I'll hold on to the jog wheel, press the play button, and then maybe do something like you can do it from the start, or you can do it while you're playing another song, like right here. I'll use this one to scratch. For example, listen to this. I'm not trying to give it musicality, so I'm trying to give that effect. I want you to hear that scratch, because if I do it like a touch of, I'll have to reduce the strength, and maybe this one should be moving like this while I'm mixing. But this one is very easy to do it on a turntable. But right here, it's more complicated. You have to do shortcuts, and you have to be very accurate right here. I'll also show you how to in the next tutorials, how to just set a manual kind of scratch. If you want to play maybe this song, this one here, this song, I will play it in a different way. As you have seen, that's a shortcut, so we make use of those ones, because most of the times you can see the scratch is very useful. You can use it in very many ways. Look at this, look at this. It's not a must for you to know how to scratch. Virtual DJ 8.0 and up, they give you so many components that you don't even have to know how to scratch. So that is about the sleep or no sleep on the jog wheel. I hope you have understood that. We have the pitch or the speed. It will depend with your approach. The pitch, the speed, sometimes even the key, because if I increase the pitch, you can see that the key is changing. I don't want it to be like that. Yes, so look at it. Those of us who know music can see that this is A minor, this is G sharp minor. So if you change the speed of the song, if I have a song, for instance, maybe you can't hear it in an instrumental, so I'm going to load a song, and I want you to listen to that kind of, this is the reset, pitch reset. If you double click it, it will reset. If you just click it, it will move it slowly. You can see the speed increasing towards the center, which is the normal speed of that song that has been analyzed by Virtual DJ. So if you play it from here, used all those tools that I've explained. You can also do a manual pitch bend. The good thing with that, when you use it, when you release it, it goes back to its normal speed, and I don't use pause. There is also the Q button. The Q will set a start position wherever you press it, and when you hold on it again, it will play from that place. When you release it, it will go back to that Q point. So you can do like this. Maybe you can look at some point where the artist is trying to start the song. Sorry. Maybe, I don't know whether I have to time for a cue somewhere. Let me play the song. You pause, then you cue. You can use the C button on the keyboard. It's a very good shortcut. And whatever I'm doing here, it looks like I'm trying to show you how to mix, but clearly I just need you to understand the interface. The mixing process, I'll give you an extensive topic on that, and you'll be able to do great songs and even mix songs of different genres, and you won't have any issues trying to understand what to do, because Virtual DJ offers it all in one package. You won't even need turntables anymore. Yeah, it's amazing. You can use Virtual DJ as your day-to-day professional kind of way of doing your things, and it will be interesting. And the good thing is that you access everything all at a go, and when you are really good at it, I tell you, you will be unmatched, because once you have mastered, you have all the information about the Virtual DJ, then you have no limit to whatever you can do to a song. You can literally do anything, even change the tune, even up to combine it with a different instrumental, whatever you like. Virtual DJ offers it all in one package. I'm not trying to market Virtual DJ, but I think this is the best kind of virtual console that can help you mix live. Others will help you place the song and try to match it and do a lot of effects. They are basically audio editors, but this one is some kind of a live kind of performance. Whatever you do, you have to have that kind of DJ understanding, and you'll be one step ahead of those people maybe who are trying to intermatch songs using other softwares. I'm not going to refer to any, but I find that tiresome and kind of boring, because you don't get the live feeling. You don't get to scratch something. You don't get it. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So right now we're going to look at the central console. The central console here, it has the audio, video, scratch, and the master. The audio will control the highs, the mids, and the lows. Or the high is the treble, the low is the bass, and the mid is the medium or the middle sound. We have another knob here where you can select an effect to add to that song. For instance, I can use filter and play this song. I want you to listen. Those of us who listen to house music, you know exactly what that effect means. It carries you away. When you are having a kind of a house kind of a beat that is playing on, I don't know whether I have any, but when you're having that kind of beat, when you use this effect and you time it perfectly, hey, you'll be Martin Garrix. Oh yeah, this is amazing. You'll be doing it, and it will be addictive. You won't just stop doing it. Yeah, so there is the gain, and there is the volume fader. This is the maximum volume, which is at 100% or at 0%. So this fader can give you an effect to a song. You can do like up down up down up down up down, trying to follow the tempo until give you an effect like this. Alright, most of these songs are, it's too hard to understand why would someone do that, but maybe let me try to give you a dancehall song which will have some kind of a feeling of dance in it, and try to listen to that effect now done to a dancehall song, not just a regular R&B or a regular soul. Now listen to this one.
Loves me and I love him, would do anything for him, but sometimes I don't trust him. That's how it goes with my boyfriend. Yeah. So I'm singing this song for him, baby. If you love me, you wouldn't lie. If you
Alright, this effect is very useful, especially on a turntable, because analog, but right here it's digital. Even the volume will take time, it will take some microseconds, you won't notice it, but I like the analog one because it completely kills that song. It makes an effect like you're cutting, this kind of cutting here, and just listen to the cut effect.
love me, woulda made me cry. If you really love me, you won't try. Give your heart to
So anytime you're not good at this one, try to use the cut function. It has more options. From here you will be able to see most of the beats that you want to cut, the strength of that cut. If it's at 100%, it will be like you are killing the volume completely and you are cutting it on the inside. So I told you can close it from here, or yeah. We have the gain increases the signal of the input from the deck, and this one please ignore, because when you are mixing with virtual DJ and your sync is on, it always tries to analyze the gain and reduce it or increase it accordingly. So anytime you have a song, you don't need to use the gain. Sometimes you may play a single song on virtual DJ and it has a low kind of a input, you might boost this one, but you really need that, because you have the volume slider and you can always add the volume at your mixer if you are directing that audio to your mixer, or if at all you can't get that, then you can just increase the gain. But I'll advise against that unless you really know what you're doing, because you might end up even having a problem with your output. It will be distorted, it will be foggy. So please just leave it like that. Virtual DJ has a way of its own analyzing gains and balancing the volumes so that we don't have highs and lows all of a sudden. Yeah, so this one is automated basically from 8.0 version 8.4 sorry, version 8.0. basically that one is always on top, because I've never used that gain button in any of the versions. There is the video console. When you are playing a video, it will appear here. The effects, the transition, how it does while trying to transist to another. You click on it when you are playing this song. Like right now it's addictive. If I try to move it, I'll have to play the other side. Alright. Alright, I'm transisting to another song. I know it's not matching, but I'm trying to show you the effect of transition. This is addictive. Let me use one that is visually identifiable, like Flip 3D. So let's play this song and try to transist to the other side. Now listen that. This effect has applied to that video, and I want you to see this boom auto. It's another effect. It goes with the beat, with whatever is happening in the background. That beat which is playing it will go with it. The boom. There are so many of them. We'll do that while we are mixing videos. Right now we're just doing the interface, so kindly bear with me. We have many videos that we are going to release in the course of this course that we are offering on Virtual DJ. So we are basically trying to make you familiar as it could get close to understanding every control that is on Virtual DJ. So we have a button that is right towards the right of this window of video. This one will allow you to explain more. I'll give your input. Do you need to preview the video? Do you need the preview is this one only, windowed, sorry. It will be it will have some kind of a window which is displayed automatically if you connect to an external monitor. For instance, if I connect my HDMI, this one will be gone. It will be displayed on the other one, on the monitor. So you can double click it to maximize or minimize. Double click it to restore to the position that it was, or the size that it was. When you are mixing, I would advise that you close this one, because if you don't close it, whatever you're mixing will be in the quality of this minimized window, and that one has come in as a very inconveniencing thing. And because we'll do a tutorial on recording, we will show you exactly what you should do. Otherwise, if you have a big screen, you have a 4K screen, you have a 1080p screen or 1080i screen, just you can display it, but make sure it's on that screen, because whatever you see on that screen is exactly what is going to be recorded. But now we are not teaching recording. I'm trying to show you the use of this. You can use the video skin. I want to show you. You can see what is happening here. It will give you the waveform display and even, oh, I have my number here. Shouldn't be here. So, and even the kind of the logo that maybe the DJ is using, the kind of information that you need on that song. Let's see what happens when you play.
No more. Fill my car, fill it up, and make me whole. So like the woman at the well, I was sinking.
So the list is endless. You can try to customize the way you want. It's an on-off ticking, checking and unchecking and a kind of a thing. So try it over and over, understand it. I know you can't get it right away, but with time it will be easier for you. You'll be knowing what to do, and anytime that you need to refer to it, you will. So from the scratch section, this one was introduced, and it's very amazing. And when you need to mix something, you want to scratch a song, for example, I'm playing here, I'll scratch the other side. Just watch. The slider has to be at least somewhere in the middle, or somewhere trying to give input from this side and this side, so that you may feel the scratch if you are doing on the other side of the deck.
But when I heard my Savior speaking,
you'll forgive me because I'm not trying to be musical. I'm trying to show you what it does. We are not mixing. Otherwise, if I was mixing, I would have selected good songs that match. This one is a beat that is over 120. This one is another one that is around 105. They don't even match. They are not in the same genre, so we can't do that. So that kind of music, that kind of mixing, it's way off. But I'm just trying to teach you how to approach all these sections at a go. So we have the master section where you can apply a master effect. You can reduce the volume of all the outputs. You can also turn on the microphone or off. You can go straight to record here or here, or you can broadcast to the virtual DJ website. You can look at the file that you or configure the file that you are going to record. For instance, if I click here, it will try to take me to settings, which I'll show you later when we are recording. So this the master output. The master output, if I kill the volume, even if I play from either side, even if I play from either side, the output towards the audience will be killed. I might pre-listen it because it's on, but it won't be going out. So the master is a very useful tool, but most of the times we don't need the master, because whatever you make sure whatever comes out of the deck is what you want. So you won't need to go and reduce the volume or kill maybe the effect. We don't need effects here. Master effects, how would you do it? Because there are two songs playing at the same time. Why can't you just put the effect on one song and it will just do well with the others? There is also the microphone, the volume of the microphone, if you have connected any, or if you have selected it from the settings where we do it, but we are not going to do that right now. So the audio, the microphone is not on, so if it's on, you can control its volume. You can do like some kind of karaoke thing. It's an amazing thing. Most of the people they like doing it, but I don't. Yeah, so we have from there we have the deck B, and deck B gives you the same kind of setup on deck A. So the difference is that this is deck A and deck B. When the slider, this crossfader, is on this side, the song that is playing is here. As you approach the other side, you start hearing the other song. As you go, this one fades out, the other one fades in completely, and when you go completely towards the left, the beat or this track on A will play better than and eventually once it's zero completely on the edge, you won't hear this anymore. And that's the concept of mixing. This is a very critical thing that you need to get, but we'll do it while mixing the audio. Actually, the audio is the basic of mixing, because videos we don't do much effects, and basically they automated, so we won't need to do a lot of things, a lot of activities trying to figure out what to do. No. Videos are very easy, because right now these effects with Virtual DJ 8.0 and up, you can say that I want that effect to be applied on the video. So if you are scratching, the video will go back and forth like you are scratching the video too. So most of the times when you are good and you've mastered the video, then the audio, sorry, if you've mastered the audio, the video will not be a problem. Yeah, so we go on to pads. Sorry, it is not pads. The browser section. We are going on to the browser section. The browser section has its own. You can add favorites. You can add a folder, filter. You can even go back to the last folder that you are in. You can change the way the browser looks like. For instance, you can decide to show only, show music, show video, show karaoke only. You can decide on display options, display list as a grid view, which I don't like, or you can decide to display the font size to be bigger. Maybe you can't see clearly. We all have different maybe kinds of vision, so it's all up to you. The impression that you get, you maybe try to. You can even use the grid view. It all depends with you. The padding is stretching those lines. It's like the space between the lines. If you have a bigger one, you can see they have been well spread, and if you have a problem with your vision, then now this one is much more appealing. I like using small because I can view so many things at once, and I can select and scroll over through easily. So always try to look at such things. We have you can reset root folders. This one will help you come refreshing the database. You can remove files that are missing from the database. Maybe there were songs that you had double entered, or you had downloaded twice and you deleted. You'll find them here, but they won't be playing because the cache thinks that they are there, but when the database tries to access them, they are not available. So those ones will be missing files from such database. Always use this one every time, because it will help you not search for a song and find out that it's not even there. Let's go to create a database backup. You can always try to back up with this database, because most of the times these songs, we analyze them all the songs that we have in our system. Literally, like me, I download a new song, I have to analyze it to give me the things that I want: the key, the speed of that song, the length, and maybe if it's a video or audio, so that it's easy. And once you get it, you load it, and if your machine is not powerful enough, the analysis will take a longer time. Alright, we can also export the browser view. There are so many things from there. Options cannot be all explained, but they are endless. There is the font size. Although those of us who aren't seeing anything, now you can see everything. There is also the browser zoom. When you zoom it, it will kind of stretch upwards, and you won't be able to see the decks, which is weird. But maybe if you are looking for a song and you want to be very fast, so you might use that one. So whatever we are clicking here, for example, I'm going to local music, my music, I need hip hop videos. Maybe I have these two, I need to play them maybe. So here, as you can see, as a musician, as a DJ, you should always categorize your songs, because how will hip hop play with let's say country? No, it will be impossible. It's always good to mix music of the same genre, and while you're switching, you try to bring out the mood of that song completely and give it another fresh look before you load another kind of genre. That's what we do when we are in a place that people are just requesting for songs. It's very difficult. Sometimes some songs are too slow, sometimes others are too fast, but you always try to kill the previous song before you bring it the other, because the syncing there cannot work. You have to literally play that song as if you are doing it on a media player, but you try to give it an impression that it's a DJ who is doing this here, you know. So always try to group your songs. I know it will take some time for you. Maybe you have thousands of songs, you want to categorize them. You can take your time. You just create the folders on one side, and on the other side you open your music folder. You keep on copying the songs to the specific kind of genre. It will depend. I usually like to do it in different ways. Sometimes I'll have an album of specifically one person. In this PC I have literally nothing, because these are very few songs. So one of maybe let's play one of the famous songs by Bob Marley. Yes, One Love. that's what I was saying. You try to kill and you start over again, start again until that mode comes in. Now you can feel like you're in the mode of reggae, and now I can play reggae all along the way I want. Let's go and check on the other side list. Here I told you can always load all the songs that you want to play. For example, let's delete everything here. The side list will be like your playlist. Play One Love, I want Water Life, I want this, If I Was a Carpenter, Identity. Like I need those songs to play. So this is like my list. I go to another folder. I also want this one, I also want this one. I go to another folder, I select that one. So at the end of the day, I have all the folders, all the songs that I need playing on that mix. Once I'm done, this is what you usually do as DJs. You can use this list or this other one, which is called the automix. Because the automix, the good thing with the automix, if contents are here, you can just play out, press on automix. It will automatically try to mix the songs, whatever genre they are in. It will intermix them, and while you're playing, you'll kind of think that someone is behind it, but it's the AI behind Virtual DJ to doing it. But it's not that perfect, but it's something. It's better than a video player. Yeah, so sometimes you might opt for that, but I use any of these lists. It doesn't matter for me, because at the end of the day I get to just drag and drop. I double click a song to play it. For instance, I can double click Red Wine, which is a very common song. So that is Red Wine by UB40. That song plays from this list. I can just copy and drag and drop another one and play it and move the fade. You can see the fader moving. So alright, so once you select here, you select a song, you drag and drop it and place it, you play it. That is very useful. Sometimes you can give more instructions. You can shuffle them, you can remove the ones that have been played, you can remove duplicates you might have entered twice. You might want to clear the list. We have the sampler. The sampler, you can add sound effects like horns. I like using horns, I like using lasers and other maybe sound effects like this one, which is very common at the place where I stay. So I press F10. So when you're playing a song and add these effects, while you're playing a song and you add these effects, you'll get that kind of hype that is given by that kind of effect. That is the sampler. You usually drag and drop your effects here. Mostly make sure that they are in audio form. I've never tried video form, but always drag them there. So these are audio effects. There are famous ones from Virtual DJ which were very common in the earlys. I don't use that. Instruments which were introduced, I think, in version 8. These ones will use the tempo of your song. Video scratch, if you have a video. For example, these are effects for the video. We are still on sampler. Maybe we have a video. I don't know whether there is a video somewhere here. Hip hop video. Alright. Now look at this. Let's move the slider, the crossfader to this side, and then play that song.
check the camera toe and turn it into casserole. 2 Chainz talking on the flex phone. Poof, just like.
You can add endless ones. They are preset and they give you a better some kind of effects on the video. I don't use it because I add my own effects on the video and I play the effects on the audio. We have the auto mix. I told you it's just a list. The difference is that when you press here and select the kind of auto mix that you want from this dot here, it will give you a drop down. This drop down will help you edit the auto mix or start the auto mix or even select the kind of auto mix, the type. That is it. That's all we had for this tutorial. I hope you have enjoyed. I know it has been extensive, maybe tiring, maybe you slept. Hey, wake up if you did. And I'm so happy. Thank you for joining us. If this video was educational to you, kindly subscribe because we are going to release other more videos in the course of this training time. Please consider doing a sub. We need your support, and make sure that we produce the best content. Probably you didn't like my cameras, probably you didn't like the way I'm presenting myself, probably my microphone is way off. We need your support because we've just started airing these kind of tutorials to make sure that we access as many people and make sure that we're doing it for free, absolutely free. So you're welcome. Thank you and see you in the next one. Bye.